So I'm going to talk about something that I'm just calling and I cry all the time, so just carry on. The continuity of community. So, as was shared, my name is Maile Meyer, and I'm happy that one of my 5 sisters, Meliana, is here. And we always travel as a pack. We always have as children, and it's important to know your people. So I want to just share a few stories that make me smile when I think about continuity across time. The continuity I'm talking about comes from being in community. Certain truths are through lines. They exist in all of us. And culturally, each of us have our own words for some version of this concept. So I want you all to hold whatever works for you. Hawaiians, we're very metaphorical. We're very confusing as communicators because we're living in different time frames, conjuring different energy, talking to wind and rain, whispering to our kupuna. So settle into whatever metaphor of comfort that allows you to feel surrounded by the beliefs that guide you. So for me, I was raised with the basic Hawaiian belief to be of service to others, to share pilina, familial ease in a community of my own making. I was born in the 1950s into a large Hapahauli family. At one time, all my neighbors were in fact my auntie's uncle's cousins by birth. The alulis stretched on for miles on Mokapu Boulevard. I'm not kidding. And we grew up when Kailua, are you ready for it? Kailua was considered country, okay? And I was that kid with the Coke bottle glasses who would read at night under the covers while my sisters were asleep. So I wouldn't wake any of them because for me, my community included some of my best friends, and they were books. I came home from the continent in the 1980s after business school and working in advertising in Los Angeles. I interviewed at Bishop Museum Press and mistakenly thought it was a media job until I noticed rows of books with different color jackets, same title, in front of a very prime and proper guy. And I realized the press manager was interviewing me. And oops, it wasn't press as in publicity. It was press in actually publishing and the making of books. It was a printing press. That was the business that I found myself in. Bernice Pauahi Bishop Museum Press. Heaven, I was home. I was with all the books that were being published at the time. Surprise and serendipity, the oldest publisher west of the Rockies. I was determined to help get the word out about books written by Hawaiian scholars. And I never knew they existed or grew up reading them. Do we all know who Mary Kavena Pukui is? Isabella Abbott, David Marlowe, John Papa'i, Samuel Gamakau. I didn't grow up with any of them. In 2025, many readers in Hawaii now know these Hawaiian writers. They're household names to some of us. They were true intellectuals, world travelers, politicians, and thought leaders, and scholars. But way back then, nobody knew who they were, including me. And I have to tell you a short digression, because it's funny. When I started working in communities with Bishop Museum titles, I was constantly asking, it's not funny, it's actually really disturbing. I was constantly asking why I distributed books by Hawaiian authors because Hawaiians didn't read. I mean, I'm not kidding. Hawaiians didn't read. And I thought to myself, I'm Hawaiian, I read. So I realized with a little bit of research on my part, guess what the most literate nation in the world was during the 1800s, with 97 out of every 100 people reading. Hawaii, dozens of newspapers, hundreds of books. We were the most literate country in the world at that time. So that's a little sidebar, and back to community continuity. In the early 1990s, I went to the Hawaiian Leadership Development Conference in Hilo, invited by my sister, Hawaiian epistemologist, Dr. Manulani Aluli Meyer, a classic networker, net thinker. Manu reached out always to cultivate community. She found a welcoming hometown in Hilo. Hilo was the birthplace of Meli and my maternal grandmother. Manu asked at the Hawaiian Leadership Development Program, a conference that she helped plan with David Singh, if I could come and sell books. So why not? I grabbed my 15-month-old child, Emma. That's why I just love hearing children in the audience. Emma came with me. I packed up a box of books from Bishop Museum Press, went to the Hawaiian Leadership Program in Hilo, set up my little table, had my order forms, and within moments, people were coming, opening books, wanting books. So I gave Emma, baby Emma, to my sister Manu, and she immediately gave Emma to a kupuna, who gave Emma to another kupuna, and another auntie, another uncle, and as I was writing orders and taking books and talking to people, I watched my child go all around the room in community. And that's how Native Books started. I came home with an empty suitcase, a communal baby, and about 80 orders for Native Books. So, honestly, why not? So we created a gathering space at the corner of School Street and Aupuni in Kalihi. My father killed 34 rats in that old poi factory across from Kalihi, Kalo Park. So that empty, abandoned, it was also like a porn cinema, this, that, or running for drugs. I mean, it was just like not an ideal location to start a bookshop. But I was up the street from one of the most amazing people, Nakewa Wai. I can't see you, but many of you will know Nakewa Wai as a fashion designer. He moved home from New York in the 1970s and began organizing amazing shows that featured local small batch makers. And Native Books was one of the people in that marketplace. And after a noisy Chinese lunch in Golden City Chop Suey, who's eaten there? It's still there in Kalihi. 16 of us collectively decided to try a seasonal brick and mortar store. We decided to do it at 222 Merchant Street in bombed out Honolulu. These were all people that were part of Nakeu's community, and that business was called Native Books and Beautiful Things. So one season turned into 5 years of community creative collectivity. The shared community, we had an incredible time. I don't know if any of you were around back then, but events, parties, pageantry, we just took over an abandoned street and had one heck of a good time. And we all thrived. It was a glorious opportunity to be community, complete with all the growing pains, lessons learned, and really trying to keep a collective mindset in community going. Many from the hui were micro makers then, and they're still in business now, including Native Books and Namea Hawaiʻi. So what is the continuity for a once young and now old bookseller? Working with community is like breathing for me. The life force and accountability to other must always be present. How can we be of service to a collective effort? Namea Hawaiʻi is now in the capable hands of the Hawaiian Council, a Native-led organization formed to amplify and empower the values of Hawaiian community. Native Books has had many, many iterations. The latest is a 3-story brick and mortar building on Nu'uana Avenue, once the gallery and workspace of artist Peggy Hopper. Peggy told me, Maile, I will not sell my business to anyone else but women. And so she waited. So many other people wanted her business. And Wei Fang, who came home as well as myself, were able to buy her building. And now it's a bookstore with event spaces, a gallery, home to 6 small not-for-profits on the 2nd floor, and a quiet space for meetings and gatherings with a view of Chinatown rooftops. So native books for me is the evolution of inclusion. Knowing that community must always have a space to share and gather. Communal places are Hawaiian spaces. Gathering is a deep-seated need in times of stress and uncertainty. Yep. Company is comfort and capacity to believe with others that there is a way forward. I have spent most of my life witnessing the manifestation of inclusion and community. And now, when I slip into Native books, I experience a communal pile of shoes at the front door. We have footwear optional. I hear laughter and noisy, nosy conversations between strangers at the counter filled with so much information about what's happening in our town. People sit and rest, or they read, or they look at a current art exhibition or books, or use the only free communal bathroom in Chinatown. So feel free to come by anytime. I am privileged, truly, to have experienced and lived in communities and with family members where this care, this pilina, will always exist. Hawaii is a place that continues to offer respite from the press of a consuming world. Rooted in a value system of net thinkers rather than ladder thinkers, a cultural through line in the place that we are all living in is connectivity. So, truly, our through line asks us to continue to create pilina, connect through relationships to people and place. And as Mahatma Gandhi actually said, and I quote, "If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. As a man," in parens woman, he didn't say that, "if a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him." So, hug someone you don't know, read a good book, laugh out loud. Know that in Hawaii, the continuity of community will always be present.